G'day guys, my name's Ant from Gaming Antics and it is Friday, which means it is time for another Games Haul video. And this week we've got another 3 video games to add to our collection. So let's jump into it and take a look what we got this week. So first up on the list, we've got a game that looks relatively interesting by Sega called Vanquish. And now the light's going to be annoying for me. So looks like a little bit of a fast running sci-fi game. Here we go. An epic third-person sci-fi action shooter from the critically acclaimed game director Shinji, and then there's a sticker over it. So I'm not too sure what the actual name was. Let me get that off. All right, we got Shinji Mikami, which doesn't make much of a difference. I don't know what Shinji has made before. Become the ultimate weapon with an unrivaled battle suit, combining deadly firepower with superhuman speed and agility. Fast, fluid, frenetic. What does frenetic mean? Storm into battle and experience high-octane gaming at its most explosive and exciting. A fast-paced shooter unlike any other. So it looks similar to, say, like Titanfall, but with some form of exosuit rather than the Titanfall Titan skeletons or whatever they were. It's been a long time since I played that game. Very interesting. So it looks like there's different characters to play. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Burns, Sam Gideon, bunch of different things to play as. Or maybe they're just characters within the game. It's hard to tell, really. Weapons, targeting. I don't know, it looks like an interesting game, probably extremely fast-paced, with maybe a little bit of sliding and parkour around the map. I can't tell exactly, but another one we picked up for $6. Next up, we've got another Tom Clancy's game to add to the list, which is Hawks. Now, this is one that I have definitely not played and have never really looked at either, even though I do enjoy the Tom Clancy games. We've got Elevate Your Experience of Warfare. 2014, you're an elite pilot controlling cutting-edge technology and devastating firepower to dominate high-altitude warfare. So it looks like mostly a fighter jet style game by the looks of it. It doesn't seem to have any ground characters to control. So explosive action over real cities created with satellite data. Issue orders, calculate evasion tactics, which they like to do in the Tom Clancy games. I like the order system that they have in Tom Clancy games. Calculate evasion tactics and track your opponent with the enhanced reality system. 4-player jump in, jump out co-op mode, which is really, really cool. I love the idea of a jump in, jump out co-op mode. Execute extreme offensive and defensive Top Gun maneuvers. So I'm not big into the flight simulators or like aerial fighting war games. It's definitely something I'll give a shot though. We'll see what happens. I might end up liking it. Who knows? But it is one that we want to add to the game collection. The idea is to get the entire game collection, right? So we do need to get games that I probably haven't played before or might not even play at all. I'll give it a shot, but you know what I mean. So the last one we've got here is a game that I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually played this one myself. I have played the older iterations, but it's got a little bit of a rocky reputation. So that is Duke Nukem Forever. Let's see if we can get it in the right light. Duke Nukem Forever. So come get some. The king is back. Cocked, loaded, and ready for action. Duke Nukem is pure, unadulterated fun. Judging by the reviews on this one, I don't know whether that is correct. Now, Duke Nukem Forever spent more than 14 years in development, so I believe they started looking into this in 1997, and we finally got it in like 2011, so quite a long time, right? And from what I understand, it wasn't received very well at all. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people still don't like it. And it just it wasn't received the way that they thought it was going to be received. Looking through different online reviews, things like people talking about how the fact that it was scrapped a bunch of times, redone multiple times, and just developed across multiple systems or multiple generations. So it's a little bit behind to begin with, as well as just not having the core heart of the development of the game being there. It's unfortunate. It happens. I do want to play it. I do want to give it a chance and see what it's like for myself. And it's the same with the Hawks game. Like, I'll still give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to like it. Duke Nukem, I might. I don't know. It could be one that I do enjoy. Have you played Duke Nukem Forever? If you have, let me know in the comments what it was like. If you haven't, and you've got opinions on it anyway, let me know in the comments what those opinions are. So each of these were $6, another $3 to add to the list or to the Google sheet. And I'm going to have to do a count today to figure out how much or how many we've actually collected so far. I still have to replace all the games that my pup did Wii on. So that takes the number down a little bit from what the actual number is, but we do have a fair few. I think we're almost getting up to the 200 point, I believe. Nope, I'm incorrect. We've got 139 games. No, 140 games, apologies. We've got 140 games, so still a fair bit off that 200 mark, and a very long way off of the overall list that I want to get, the full collection, which I can't even remember how many games there were. I have said it in a past video, but it's like it's definitely more than 1,000, so we've still got a long way to go for that, but we are getting there. So with Duke Nukem on the mind, the question of the week is, what game have you waited a long time for to come out, and when you got it, it wasn't as good as what you were expecting it to be? Mine is Dead Island 2. I remember seeing the first trailer for Dead Island 2 back in the day when I was fully obsessed with the Dead Island franchise, and I just couldn't wait for it to be out. I was so excited, and then there was the cancellations, the companies being bought out, whatever it was that made it delayed so much. And then when it finally came out, I got it on the PS5, I believe, and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I had a lot of other games I was playing at the time. Maybe it was because, I don't know. I have noticed that when I get games on Game Pass or the PS5 Plus, I tend to not appreciate them as much as if I've paid for them. So maybe that could have come into it. Maybe I just need to buy a copy of it and see what happens. But I just couldn't. It didn't grasp me. It didn't hook me with the story, or didn't hook me with the gameplay. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, Dead Island 2 is my one. Let me know in the comments what your game is. So as you've seen last week, we went to the Game Expo. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I think moving forward, I want to try and do videos of each of the conventions I do go to. Up until recently, I was going to TGX in Melbourne, DreamHack in Melbourne, and PAX Australia in Melbourne. But DreamHack has left the Australian shores, which is very, very sad, but it was such a good time. In the future, we do have PAX coming up towards the end of the year, and I'm keen to take you guys along with me to that. There is a couple of other options that may happen, may not happen, which is AvCon in Adelaide and PixelCon in WA. PixelCon or Pixel? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but there's that as well. Another interesting one that just got announced today, I believe it was today. Yeah, so it was today, 3rd of April. At least that's when this article that I'm reading has come out. And that is a new exhibit from the 18th of September 2025 to the 8th of February 2026 called Game Worlds. That sounds a little bit weird. Game Worlds. It's at Acme in Melbourne. So the Australian Centre for the Moving Image. It's a large museum-style situation in Melbourne that showcases a lot of movie, TV, video game stuff that, and they do these different exhibitions throughout the years. So one of the ones that I've been to was the Tim Burton exhibit there, and there was another one. I can't remember what the other one was, but I remember having that Matrix thing where you go in there and it's got a green screen. It was pretty cool. But anyway, Game Worlds. So by the looks of it, they are going to be showcasing things like concept art, rare objects, playable demos, and never before seen designs. from a range of 30 pioneering games. Things like The Sims, World of Warcraft, Neopets, and a bunch of other stuff. So you'll be able to play video games, have a look at unreleased stuff or unreleased images, concepts, and things like that. So it's going to be really cool. So I'd like to go to that as well. So that opens up in September. So yeah, a bunch of different events happening in Melbourne and around Australia as well that I would love to go to, as well as some of the more smaller ones. I know last year I did the Melbourne Comic and Toy Festival, searching for some retro games, and that was a lot of fun as well. So we'll see if we can hit that up again, although I have a feeling it might have just been. Anyway, we'll see. And then I'm working on my first playthrough video that's going to be happening very soon. I'll keep that under wraps for now, and once it gets a little bit closer, I'll let you guys know what that's going to be and when it's going to come out and how it's going to come out and all the different bits and pieces. One other bit of news that I do want to talk about that I think will be relatively impactful for at least the people in Australia for the retro game collecting scene is the fact that EB Games has just announced that they are going to be trading retro games for cash or credit. I don't know how much I like this. They've obviously seen that the retro market has risen quite a lot. They've probably seen the game stores opening up, things like Game Experts in Melbourne, as well as all the videos you see on TikTok and YouTube of game stores being opened up all across the world. And they want to cash in on this. So what I'm hoping is that they don't stooge us too much. I'm hoping that the trade value is decent and that they're not marking up the prices on games once they've actually bought them. That's my hope. I don't know whether that's going to be the case, but we'll see what happens. They're accepting a whole bunch of different stuff all the way up to 360, PS3, Wii U. So relatively recent. I mean, like 3 gens ago. What are we talking? 2 gens ago. So 2 generations ago. And yeah, I just want to see how much they're actually going to be giving and how much they're going to be charging for it. It does mean that hunting might be a little bit easier depending on the prices. We may be able to just go into EB Games, have a look at the stock that's there and pick up what we can from the different stores. I don't know whether my local one will have stock anytime soon or whether it's a trip down to Melbourne to see what they have, but I do look forward to seeing what this might bring. It could be bad, but it could also be good. So we'll see what happens. For the moment, I'm going to keep buying from Cash Converters and from Facebook Marketplace while they're decent. Like Cash is, I looked up Duke Nukem on eBay and it's like $5.60. So I paid an extra 40 bucks. Paid an extra 40 cents to pick it up and have it in my hand now. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can't complain. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have enjoyed this game haul video. There's going to be another couple of purchases next week, maybe a bigger purchase. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on with the Nintendo stuff, the older consoles. I think it's probably going to end up being a thing that I pick up at PAX. We'll see what happens. I'm not 100% sure with that. It's just hard to organize the transfer of that. But other than that, new content coming out. I'm trying to get back on that Friday upload regularly. Thanks once again for watching the video. I do appreciate it. If you do like the content, please do subscribe and follow along with the game haul journey, the Xbox collection, which I don't think you guys have seen in a little while, but it's looking pretty good behind there. Is it gonna it like almost auto-focused? Xbox collection is looking pretty good, so do subscribe and follow along with that journey. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And as always, enjoy your gaming.